Sports. We are live. Take two. We just got done interviewing long snapper Andrew DePaulo. We greatly appreciate him coming on. I figured since he's a football player, we'll do another show. That's now because we're talking about basketball. Now, we don't do a ton of shows talking about basketball, even though I'm a big basketball fan. We definitely don't do a ton of basketball shows during playoff season because it's primarily football time. But you ready? Breaking news, James Harden, yes, that James Harden,
is on
Fat James Harden with the fat beard, has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Cam, from what I understand, it's a very long and arduous and complicated multiplayer, multi-picks deal. I'm getting all kinds of messages below on our phone here. People going euphoric over this trade. Do you have the details of the trade?
I do. It is a 4-team trade.
Okay, hold on. I gotta write this down because I need to be able to recite this here. So we got 4-team trades, correct?
It's a 4-team trade, correct?
Okay. All right. We don't need every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So there's like 9 guys for one team. Just name the top guys. So so who did the Nets get? The Nets got James Harden.
The Brooklyn Nets got James Harden and James Harden only.
Wow. Okay. A great player, but okay.
Yep.
Who's the so who did Houston get? Or who did they get?
They got Dante Exum.
All right. Right.
Victor Oladipo.
Okay, Victor Oladipo's a big guy.
Some some draft prospect who's been stashed overseas.
Okay, overseas right.
And 8 first-round picks. Okay.
Wow. 8 first-round picks. So what that means is they're getting 8 first-round picks. 4 of them are swaps, though. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, because that makes a difference. So we're like 8 first-round draft picks. What the? Okay, so we got 4. We got 4. So basically to set the stage here, we have
4 picks and 4 swaps.
We have 4 first-round draft picks from Brooklyn.
Correct.
Okay, what that means in English. There's how many teams? 30?
Yes.
Let's assume for the purposes of this conversation that most of the draft picks will be between 22 and 30. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So most of their picks will be 22 and 30. They're going to be a top 5, top 6 team, top 7 or 8 team. So Brooklyn will probably be a bottom 10 team on their own. So they'll get a bottom 10 pick on theirs.
Correct.
And they'll get an extra first round pick between 22 and 30. And they have 4 chances to swap.
Correct.
Now, odds are
they won't swap.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
Torn it down, correct.
But correct me if I'm wrong. These 4 extra draft picks, they have the option to swap. But if Brooklyn's worse,
the pick is higher, right?
But that's really only 4 first-round draft picks, not 8.
Correct.
So it's a little bit of – that's why I wanted to write it down. It's a little bit of showmanship with the 8 picks. It's a little bit of bravado, a little bit of – it's not really 8 picks. It's easier
to sell to your fan base that you have 8 first-round picks. Correct.
You're trying to oversell this. Okay, what are the other 2 teams?
The other 2 teams are the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers.
Okay, who did the Cavs get?
The Cavs got Jared Allen, the great defensive player from Brooklyn.
Okay.
And Taurean Prince.
Okay.
And the Pacers.
And that's all they got?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what do the Pacers get?
Karis LeVert.
That's it?
Yes. Victor Oladipo wanted out. He's a free agent at the end of the year. So
wow.
This is a good trade, really, I think, for all involved. In fact, this is going to sound crazy. To me, the team that got the least out of this was Brooklyn. Because I know we'll dive deep into everything later. I just don't see how this is going to work. You got so many ball dominant players. You got so many egos.
My opinion is, I see what you're saying. I don't think they got the best player in the draft. So they got the best player in this situation. So you can't say they got the worst. Right. Now, would I rather have a young, healthy Victor Oladipo going forward for the next 8 to 10, 12 years? Yes, I would. Absolutely, I would.
At the end of the year.
Well, you don't think they're going to re-sign him?
I mean, we'll see.
What do you mean we'll see?
He made it known to the Pacers he wanted out. He wasn't going to re-sign him.
Okay, there's a difference between Indiana and Houston. Houston's a big market. Indiana's not.
Less taxes too, correct.
Right. So the point being, Houston's a metropolitan area. There's a lot going on in Houston. They very well could build around Victor Oladipo with the draft picks and with so on and so forth. I think he'd be smart to stay in Houston. I mean, unless some other fantastic opportunity comes around. He's played in Orlando, not a huge market, decent market, but not huge.
City, right.
He's played in Oklahoma City, not a big market at all. He played in Indy, so he's been in all small markets. Houston is really his first big metropolitan market.
It's a top 5 market, isn't it?
It's a top 5, top 6 market. It's in the red. Dallas is bigger, but yeah, they're Houston, Dallas. That's all within the mix. Maybe Dallas is a place he ends up with. Okay, but
Luka, absolutely.
But him, Luka, Porzingis. Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah. So, excuse me, I'm getting all kinds of crazy text messages here. But what's interesting about it, four teams in this trade. The Pacers get Karis LeVert, is a solid role player, nothing special there.
He's had a good year, yep.
Jared Allen, the Cavs have actually played pretty well this year. They added Jared Allen, a decent piece.
Well, Colin Sexton's had a great year, yeah.
Still not overly enamored with that.
Right, they're in the middle. Yeah.
Right, they're in the middle. Brooklyn, here's the thing with Brooklyn, okay? You've got Kevin Durant, one of the best players. You've got James Harden, one of the best players in the league now. You've got Kyrie Irving, one of the best players. But here is the problem.
Kyrie Irving has to play.
Kyrie Irving is such a malcontent jerk. He's worried about politics. He's worried about philosophy. Look, if Kyrie Irving wants to retire and he wants to go teach at UCLA and he wants to go teach at Berkeley and he wants to go teach at whatever, great, go teach wherever. If he wants to run for mayor, if he wants to run for governor, if he wants to run for, he's too young to run for president, okay? But was he born in America?
I'm not sure.
I thought he was born in Australia.
Yeah, I believe he was born in Australia. So maybe he's not
if he was born in Australia, then he would not be eligible to become president. So, but yeah, the guy, he's just a weird dude. He's a weird dude. He's a weird bird. He's got a lot of just weird things going on. Yeah. And,
the funniest thing about this to me is, first of all, he still has. We did our show last week on when a couple days after what happened last Wednesday at the Capitol, and which is why he claimed he didn't play that night. He hasn't played since.
Are we going down this road now?
That's why he claimed he didn't play.
Well, first of all, I told you when it happened. When he didn't play, it was because of the Capitol. That was his excuse.
But you knew that was nonsense.
He still hasn't played.
Well, now it's come out. Now this has come out.
Okay, let me say this. If tomorrow there's a heat wave that breaks out all across the world, if there's a heat wave where it goes 102, or if there's a cold wave where it goes -20, that's going to be his reason. Whatever is the big topic of the day, if aliens come and visit us tomorrow, it's because of the aliens. Are we in danger from the aliens? No, they just want to come down and talk to us and ask who the next president was going to be. Whatever the aliens want to know, okay? Whatever the aliens want to know, Kyrie Irving uses everything as an excuse. When the NBA bubble happened last year, he was saying, let's not do it. Let's start our own league. He's all over the place. Like, he is a guy that is so deep into the conspiracy theories.
Well, he thinks he's smarter than he is.
Yeah, dude, great. You read a book. Your 9 games you played in college.
You went to Duke, yeah.
Your 90 days in college you spent. You're a genius. You're an expert. Like this guy, I'm fine with. He wants to study whatever. Dude, your job. You get $40 million a year to play basketball.
Go to work.
I hate to say shut up and dribble, dude. Shut up and dribble, dude. Play basketball. Okay.
But here's the part I find so funny. Here's the part I find so funny. Well, first of all, now it's come out today that he didn't want Steve Nash as his coach. He wasn't consulted on the Nets process of hiring Steve Nash.
Okay.
This Steve Nash was a hire for Kevin Durant because Steve Nash was on the Warriors staff.
He's right.
Yes.
Steve Nash was a hire for Kevin Durant, and he was a hire for the whole team because he's a good coach.
And now apparently Irving and Durant's relationship has started to fray because Durant's upset he's not playing.
You know what I would do? I would turn around and I would go
to traded him.
No, let me tell you, where did he go? Where did he go? He went to Houston. I'd pick up the phone and I would trade Victor Oladipo for Kyrie Irving. That's what I would do.
I was because it felt like all day today. It felt like the Harden trade was imminent after his comments last night.
Yeah.
After the game, the Rockets get waxed by the Lakers.
Right.
It felt like the trade was going to happen any moment, and I just kept, please let Kyrie go to Houston. I thought that would have been so perfect that he's acted like a total clown this last week that he gets traded. But the funniest thing to me now is this. when he wanted out of Cleveland, he wanted to be the man. He wanted to be his show. He wanted to prove he didn't need LeBron. None of it. He wanted to be the man. He's now the third option on his team.
Right. Yeah.
He's playing with 2 former MVPs.
Yeah. I mean, look, Kyrie doesn't. Yeah, you're right. Kyrie wants to be the man, but he was happy his first 3 years in Cleveland when he got the best seat on the plane, the best seat on the bus, the best seat on the limo, the best seat at dinner, and they were winning 22 games a year.
He never wanted LeBron to come back. That's come right. He never wanted LeBron to come back to Cleveland.
Yeah, you know what? He doesn't want to win. He's not a winner. He doesn't have the DNA for winning. What Kyrie Irving's skill is, he's great at dribbling. He's great at finding a spot and making that shot. Can he rebound? Can he pass? Can he steal? Can he play defense? Can he play team ball? Can he do the 15 other things that it takes? No, he can't do any of those things.
He's Allen Iverson.
His single skill is he's a great dribbler and he's a great shooter.
Yeah, he's Allen Iverson.
That's it. That's it. He's better than Allen Iverson, but yeah, he's very comparable to him. But here's my problem. There's so many problems with him. But I remember you said this. You're like, oh, are the Brooklyn Nets going to win? I go, no, they're not going to win anything.
I'm not convinced they will.
Okay, last year, the Brooklyn Nets went to the playoffs without Kevin Durant, without Kyrie playing very much at all. They went to the playoffs
they lost the first round to Toronto, correct.
Now, if Kyrie is healthy, and that says a lot, and I don't mean physically, I mean mentally healthy. If he's mentally healthy, if he's between the years mentally healthy, and James Harden comes along, yes, of course, in the East, Kyrie, Harden, Kevin Durant, and the rest of their guys, Joe Harris, that is a great team. On paper, it's a great team. You know who else had a great team on paper? The Steelers. The Steelers had a great team on paper. The Pittsburgh Steelers started off 11-0, and they just got beat by the Cleveland Browns, right?
Right. Also, I mean, to me, you know what this also could be?
Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Smash TV Radio. Go ahead, the last take, and then we're going to end this, and then we're going to go to football.
What was another team that was, 3 great players, one a little bit older, MVPs formed together? Happened in LA about 10 years ago. Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Steve Nash. How'd that go?
Right.
That fell apart real quickly. I can see that happening here.
That fell apart. That fell apart, but Dwight Howard was a defensive player of the year, but he wasn't an MVP. But I see what you're saying.
Right, because there were chemistry issues between Kobe and Dwight.
There was chemistry issues with Kobe and everybody. Okay, the only one that was really able to team well with Shaq was with Kobe was Shaq, and that's because Shaq is so great.
And Paul Gasol, right?
Right. And you're not trying to compare Paul Gasol to Shaq, are you? No, I was going to say that's a horrible way to end the show. Like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again.